All right, send this out. Good morning. Thank you for the blessed shoes. Yo, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Goodness. Let me send this out to the team and then we'll go ahead and we'll get started. I don't know what's up with my nose here today. All right. Everyone, we are live. Make sure that they know and they can join us up and then we'll be good to go. I'm in. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right. Hopefully everybody is doing good here today. What we're going to be doing is we're going to break down exactly what it is that we're looking at in the markets. We'll recap a little bit of what we've seen yesterday, and then we'll put together our step-by-step plan on how we're actually going to execute here today in the markets, right? So you guys know we talked about it yesterday. We're actually going to pull up my screen here so that our YouTube audience can actually see me. There we go. Let's make sure that this is locked in for you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Give me 1 second here, chat. Let me lock in for you real quick. Okay, there we go. All right. That should be good. Yep, looks beautiful. Okay, so what are we seeing here today, right? What are we seeing here today? Let's actually start from the jump street. You guys know what we do each and every day. We go through our step-by-step checklist, the Ace Trader method. Now, this is the same method that allowed me to scale to over $1 million in funding with prop firms. This is the same checklist that I go through each and every day, and it's actually a gift that I give to you guys because this is absolutely free. So if you guys want this, you guys can DM me the word ACE and you guys can have this again absolutely free. So what's the first thing that we need to do, chat? We need to take a look at what session we're trading. This is the most important thing. We want to take a look at what is our session. This is going to be 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, why do we trade this session? Can anybody in the chat tell me why we trade this session? There's somebody who's new here today who doesn't know why we trade this session. So I want you guys to kind of interact with me here today. Talk to me, right? Talk to me. Does anybody know? I know one of you guys know, right? Kai, thank you. W's in the chat for Kai, right? That's when the banks open, right? That's when the New York Stock Exchange opens up. And then we have how John said, and that guy Victor, we have the most volume, high volatility at this time, right? Because those overnight orders are coming into the markets and we see that's when the actual New York Stock Exchange opens. So we typically see an influx in volume and we need volume in order to capitalize on the move. So we're going to check that off. Now, what's the next thing that we need to do? We need to check my FX book for any news events for this session. What does this help us to do, chat? What does this help us to do? Why is it that we need to check for news? It's not just because it'll catch you off guard. We need to check for news because it helps to determine the volatility, right? Absolutely. Spot volume, right? Stay out of improbable trades. That could be another thing that it helps you do, right? So we want to check and see if there's any news events for the session. And I got my FX book up here, but I really like Forex Factory. Forex Factory gives you the updates on what's going on, the nitty and the gritty. This is something big. Trump says I have paused 50% tariffs against Canada that were scheduled to kick in tomorrow. The tariffs is what they're believing to being the reason why, or at least this is what Powell used to say, is the reason why inflation has been going up here. Well, we'll talk a little bit about that deeper later. But anyways, in terms of the news here, we have FOMC meeting minutes at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So not in our session, but it is something that is we need to look at. No trade yesterday. Yeah, we took 2 trades yesterday, 2 W trades yesterday. 2 dubs yesterday. So in terms of this, we have FOMC meeting, minutes meeting. Goodness gracious, we have that coming out later. That could add a potential volatility into the markets later, but we'll take a look at that there, right? So now the next thing we need to do is we need to identify the 4-hour direction to see our overall trend, right? To see our overall trend. So let's take a look at this 4-hour direction here. We're starting with the NQ, right? What is this current 4-hour direction, chat? Talk to me. Is this a bullish structure or is this a bearish structure that we're in? This area that is circled here. What are we looking at? What are we looking at? John Trade says bullish. That guy Vic says pretty bullish, just a pullback, bearish. What is the technical structure that we're in, chat? Technical structure. And this is a high, a low, a higher high, higher low, higher high, lower low. We've come back down to break through this key low here without really seeing any pullback. So talk to me. What type of structure is this? Still haven't crossed the lowest point for structure. How it bounced back and forth between the key high and the key low. This is a bearish market structure, chat. We created this high up here on the 4-hour time frame. Then we broke through that high, created a high here. We created a low, created a higher high, making this now our key low, which then got broken through. Once we broke through this key low here, right, that shifted this market structure on the 4-hour time frame from being bullish to now being bearish. So let's take a look at it. What do we need to do next? And Adrian, I'll break down the trade that we took yesterday. So then we need to identify the direction on our 15-minute time frame, or the trade style, I said, because we took two, one on gold and one on NASDAQ. So in this current 15-minute wave here, and this was the trade that we took yesterday, are we bullish or are we technical bearish, chat? Are we bullish or are we technical bearish? Now, I want you guys to look at this here. This is the wave that we're focused on. What is the technical structure? Is it bullish or is it bearish? Talk to me here. Hold on, wait. I lost you guys. Let me put a chat up. There we go. All right, so I got some conflicting people here. That guy says bullish. Master Builder says correction. Bear says Kai. Bear says Deanna. Right, Jay Goes Live says bearish. Bullish says Adrian. That guy says bear. Eve says bearish. Mari Trade says bullish, bearish. We're kind of conflicted here, chat. So let's talk about it, right? Price had created this low. A lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. This is where we were at yesterday. We were in that bearish market structure. And I told you guys that it was likely that we break through, more likely that we break through this low than it would be for us to break through that key high. Then we created a lower low by creating this low here. We lower high, a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Right? Low is lower than this low. We broke through that area there. And then we created a higher high, right? So price just broke through this area here. So now we're in a technical bullish market structure. Well, okay, what are we looking for here today? We're going to play our game, cook or be cooked, so that you guys can identify where our key area of interest low is and where our key area of interest high is. Talk to me, chat. Where is our key area of interest high? Would it be 1 here? Would it be 2 here? Would it be 3 here? Wait for it. 3 here? Or would it be 4 here, chat? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Where is our key area of interest high? Remember, this is the high that you would look for price to potentially target, being that we are in a bullish market structure. So hold on. Where's the key area of interest high? We're going to start the poll. Got the poll started up. Go ahead and lock in your vote there. Going to go ahead and drop this. What is our key area of interest high, chat? Talk to me. Lock in your vote. What is the vote that you're rocking with here today? I see a lot of 2s in the chat. If you guys are enjoying this live, be sure to tap the screen, right? We're trying to get to 10K likes. We need to get this out to as many people as possible because I need you guys to understand what we're looking at here today. So that guy Victor says 2. Cynthia says 2. The ninth Hokage says 2. Tony and Q says 2. What we got, chat? What we got? About 20 more seconds. Everybody lock in your vote. Living by Code says 3. What do we got? What do we got here, chat? By Malia 2. Mari says 2. Deanna says 4. Kai says 2. Rob says 2. MT says 2. Adrian 2. I see you guys locking into 2. If you guys are just joining us up, we are playing a game called Cook or Be Cooked, where you're either going to cook or you're going to be cooked, right? This is where you identify your key area of interest high and your key area of interest low. 86% of you guys said that 2 was the right answer. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. The first team that is absolutely cooked are 4s. This is not our key area of interest high. This is just not our key area of interest high, chat. Now, if you said 4, you guys are absolutely cooked. Go ahead and drop a follow. Now you have to choose between 1, 2, and 3. And if you said 1, you guys are also cooked. This is not our key area of interest high, chat. That's not the key area of interest high. So 1s, you guys are also cooked. If you're not currently following, be sure to drop a follow. I don't want this to be the last time that you guys see me. I need you guys to understand what it is that we're looking for here. And we're creeping up on 7,000 followers. I absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. Now, it's just between 2 or 3, chat. What are we feeling? Yeah, Deanna, it's okay. Cooked, right? Cooked, absolutely cooked. No worries though. That's what this is all for. I appreciate the follow there. W's in the chat for Deanna and Taj following up. Appreciate you guys following up. So that guy Victor says 2. Kai says 2. John Trade says 2. Well, what is the answer, chat? What is the answer? If you guys said 3, you guys are also cooked, chat. This is not the key area of interest high, chat, because it is in fact 2. W's in the chat for everybody who said 2. 2 is our key area of interest high. Now, why is 2 our key area of interest high, chat? It is the highest point that broke from our previous high. Remember, we were creating lower lows and lower highs within this bearish market structure. We created a low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then we came through, we broke our previous key high, which was right here, and that shifted our market structure. So now we need to identify, okay, well, where is our key area of interest low? This is the low that if broken, and I promise you this is all going to make sense here in a second, because we're going to put together how the larger time frame is actually being affected and why we're actually seeing this shift here. But let's go ahead. Let's go into round 2. I'm not following. Okay, life hack real quick, just for you. If price is creating lower lows and lower highs, the market structure is bearish. We created a lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, then lower low, right? We broke through this. This would have been the key high. This is the key low. Then we created a new lower high and we created a lower low. This became the previous high. This became the previous low. Then what we did is we broke through that high, shifting the structure from now creating lower lows and lower highs to now creating a higher high, because this high is higher than our previous high there. So we have what is known as, what is this known as, chat? This area right here. When you get this break, what is that known as? What is this known as once you get this shift here? There's something in particular that I'm looking for. Khalid says break of structure, market structure shift, break of structure, wait for a change of character. Yes, so this would be a change in character, right? Because we're creating lower lows and lower highs, but now we've created a higher high right up here, which is higher than our previous high, which means that if we create higher highs, we would anticipate potentially a higher low to then go ahead and create a higher high. That's why it's important that we identify where our key area of interest high is at, because that's going to be the target that we look for price to go to. Well, taking a look at this market here, let's play the second round of Cook or Be Cooked, right? Let's play the second round of Cook or Be Cooked. Well, where is our key area of interest low, chat? Where is our key area of interest low? Is it, hold on, wait for me, chat, wait for me. Is it 1 here? Is it 2 here? Is it 3 here? Or is it 4 here, chat? Where is our key area of interest low? This is the low that, if broken, would actually shift the market structure from being bullish to now being technical bearish. And I promise you, I'm going to make this all make sense here in a second, because the area that we've shifted off of is a key area for a reason. We've gotten this lower time frame shift because we've come down to a larger time frame resistance, which we'll show you guys here in a second. So talk to me. I appreciate you guys following up. For those of you who are following, if you are not currently following, be sure to drop a follow. I can't really read your name, but I see you with the follow there. So talk to me, chat. What are we feeling? What is our key area of interest high? Let's start a new poll here. Let's start a new poll. You guys interact with the polls here. You guys messing with the polls? Drop a yes in the chat if you like the polls. If you don't like the polls, we'll just keep it to the chat. But if you like the polls, drop a yes in the chat. Let me know if you guys like the poll. What is our key area of interest low, chat? What is it? You guys got about 1 minute to lock it in. If you don't know the question is, where is our key area of interest low? This is important because if this low is broken, it actually shifts our market structure from being bullish to now being bearish, right? It shifts our market structure from being bullish to now being bearish. What do we got in the chat here? Healing Between Broken says 4. That guy Victor says 4. Alex says 4. JC the Barber says 4. Bond says 4. Kesh says 4. What do we got? About 26 more seconds, chat. Where is our key area of interest low? The reason that we have this shift is because the 4-hour time frame is in a correction. That's true, but where does that shift come is the key. Actually, we're in a correction, we have the shift, but why did it shift where we shifted at? That's the key question. So Stony says 4, Jay says 4, Your Important says 4. Talk to me. What do we got? We're gonna go ahead and end that there. We got 115 of you guys over here. The sounds smooth. I appreciate that there. All right, 4. We got 4. Erica says 4. What is our key area of interest low, chat? Well, if you guys said 1, you guys are absolutely cooked. This is not our key area of interest low, chat. This isn't the key area of interest low. So if you said 1 or you thought 1, go ahead and drop a follow. I need this to not be the last time that you guys see me, right? Because we're trying to train up the best indicator. Drop it in the chat if you know what the best indicator is. How many of you know what the best indicator is? What is the best indicator, chat? It's the EYES. The EYES. How many of you know what the EYES is? Drop a yes. How many of you know? Kai, I see you with the EYES, right? The EYES. Some of you are looking up the EYES right now, and that is your eyes. Your eyes is the best indicator that you're gonna have, chat. So we're trying to train up your indicator so that you can see this market structure fluently. All right, talk to me. So who is actually cooked? Yes, LOL. Yes, right. It's your eyes, chat. Don't go looking for the EYES indicator. You're not gonna find it. All right. I actually should change my indicator to the EYES. But anyways, what is our key area of interest low? If you guys are just joining us, we're playing a game of cook or be cooked where somebody is about to be cooked. If you guys said 2, you guys are also cooked. This is not our key area of interest low, chat. Go ahead and drop a follow. I don't want this to be the last time that you guys see me. Remember, our key area of interest low is the lowest point that if we break would actually shift this 15-minute time frame from being bullish to now being bearish. Now that just leaves 3 and 4. What are we feeling, chat? 3 or 4? Rubel, appreciate the follow. TJ, appreciate the follow. Appreciate you guys following up. W's for you guys following up here. W's for you guys following up. What we feeling, chat? 3 or 4? Alex says 4. That guy Victor says 4. What are we feeling? You guys tell me. You tell me. Do we only have 2 answers? There's 120 of you guys on here, and only 2 people know what they're choosing here. Diana says 4. Okay, 4. It can retest. 4. We're feeling 4s. We're feeling 4s. JB says 3 or 4. Those are the only options, JB. Those are the only options. You got to choose. Chef Life says 4. 4. I see the 4 in there. All right, we got 100 and nearly 38 of you guys on here. I absolutely appreciate each and every one of you guys. Who is cooked, chat? If you guys said 4, you guys would absolutely be correct. W's in the chat for my 4s because 3s, you unfortunately are cooked. 3s, you're cooked. it's a sad day for you threes, but it's okay, right? Go ahead and drop a follow, right? We don't want this to be the last time that you see me, because I need you to understand why 4 is our key area of interest, and I'm gonna give you a little hint as to how you can identify this. W's in the chat for all my 4s. I've seen a hell of 4s in there, right? W's, right? So in terms of this, let me give you a little bit of a hint, chat. If you go from your previous high, right, you drag a box from your previous high to your current high. We all agree that this was our previous high. This is our current high, and you drag the box down. Guess what, chat? It's going to be the lowest point inside of your box. The lowest point inside of your box. That's going to be your key area of interest low. And why this low is important is because if price breaks through this low here, right? If we break through this low, then that would then shift the market structure from being bullish to now being bearish. We treat this as a fake out or a false break. But what is more likely for us to happen, being that we are shifted? Which one is more likely to get broken? Is it more likely that we break through this low, or is it more likely that we break through the high? So we got the high here, we got the low here. Which one is more likely to get broken? Being that we're in a 4-hour bull or 15-minute bullish trend. Right? Which one is more likely to get broken? Khalid, appreciate the follow. Appreciate you guys following up here. Lon, appreciate the follow. That guy Victor says high, right? High. It's more likely that we break through the high than it would be for us to break through the low. This is not to be confused that it can't break through the low. It's just more likely. Now let's stack some confluences together with this. Well, where do we get this shift at? You're asking me, okay, Kai, well, why did we shift here? Well, take a look at your larger time frame. What is right here at this level? Take a look at this level here. We have resistance right off of this level. What level is this, chat? What level? You guys know I love my solid hold numbers. Guess what level this is? 29,500. 29,500. This is the level that we actually have been struggling. You can see here the market has struggled to break through this low with all of this resistance here. So not only did we tap into a psychological hold number at this 29,500, but from this level we know we have resistance, and guess what? We got now on our lower time frame a shift. Take a look at that. That shift didn't come at any random spot. Did it come at any random spot? No. The shift didn't come at a random spot. It came at our key area of interest low that also doubled as a psychological hold number. Guess what? We retested once we shifted, right? Where did we retest? Right at that psychological hold number where we have resistance. So guess what that tells me? That this area right here is a pretty strong level and is kind of difficult to break through. So if it is more likely for us today, potentially, right? This is all on probabilities. It's more likely for us to potentially break through this high than it would be for us to get through this very strong level here and break through this low. Can I drop a yes in the chat if that's making sense to you? Drop a yes in the chat if that's making sense to you. Is anybody picking up what I'm putting down here, right? Is anybody picking up what I'm putting down? Blessed, I appreciate the follow. I want to make sure that you guys are following me here, because this is how you train up the EYES indicator, right? Your eyes. You start to understand the different pieces that the market is giving you, and you're starting to wonder, okay, well, that kind of makes sense, right? So let's go and revamp what we saw yesterday, because you're asking me, okay, Kai, well, how do you implement this into the real markets? Okay, well, let's go back. For those of you who were here yesterday, let's recap what we saw. Price had created this low, a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, right? This was pre-market yesterday. We was on right here. This was our key area of interest high right there. I asked you guys the same question yesterday. Which one was more likely to get broken? Our low, which was here, or our high, which was here? Well, our 4-hour time frame was bearish. Our 15-minute time frame was bearish. It was more likely that we broke through this low than it would be for us to break through the high. That's what you guys told me. Well, guess what happened? Well, we broke through that low, right? And then what did we see happen? We seen a lower high get formed. Guess what? That's your key area of interest high. If it would have broke through this high here, that would have shifted the market structure. But guess which one is more likely to get broken? Our low. So how do we actually execute in our VIP? Well, if you take a look here, because right, we got to bring out all the stops here, chat. We're going to bring out all the stops. I'm not going to hold anything back. In our VIP, we were able to capitalize off of this move. Let me scoot this over so that you guys can see this for those of you who are on TikTok, right? That was the first trade that we took yesterday. If I can get to it. There we go. Right. So I told the team, hey, look, Current 5-minute candle closing bullish. We're looking near identical to yesterday's price action. I'm still heavily biased if we can get a 5-minute candle to close bearish without shifting the market structure. This was the setup that I was looking at. I wanted to see price retest back into this area and give us that steeper move to the downside because we were still in a technical bearish market structure. Okay, well, what are you saying, Kai? Okay, what was the next thing? Well, we seen the setup. Look, price started to reject off of this area here. When it started to reject off of this area, I told the team, hey, look, I like sales here. We're going to take sales off of this level here. What did we do? We took sales off of this level, but where did we target? Because it's not just important that you understand where to get in at. It's also important that you understand the targets. First target, 29,600. Why 29,600? Psychological whole number, chat. Psychological whole number. And then we updated them the entire way. Hold on, for those of you who can't see, the entire way for this trade, right? How I was executing, how I was going ahead and taking my profits, how I was scaling out, the whole 9 yards. What did we see happen yesterday? We had another move for gold, absolutely dime move, retested our key area of interest, and then we got the same exact move for gold, right? So we're going to break down both of those trades here. I just want you guys to understand how we start to put this together in terms of understanding where we're looking at. So again, where was my first target? 29,600. Where's 29,600? That is right here, chat. That is right here. Look at the reaction that we got after we tapped into 29,600. Price pushed almost all the way back up to break even, right? We nearly got taken out right here with that pullback when we was already break even. And then it came down to hit our target. What was our target low? Our target low was this resistance here on our 4-hour time frame. That's where we wanted to see price go. We just wanted to see it target that resistance right there. Hold on, let me scoot this over so you guys can see this. Right? We just wanted to see that right there. And what did we get? Price came right to it. And then what did it do? It gave us a huge correction back up. And then it slowly but surely continued to the downside. What was the gold trade that we took yesterday? Well, gold was right in here. I told the team specifically, I wanted to see a 4,423 retest. 4,423 retest. That was that area. Why? Because this was the target that we were looking for price to go that morning, right? We had resistance at this level. So if price could retest this level here where we have this larger time frame area of resistance, well, it's likely that we could potentially go back down to target into our low. So how do we execute off of this? Well, when I actually seen it late because this really should have been the candle that we executed on, but I ended up getting in right here for this candle, stops above with our system, and then looked for price to go back down and target back into these lows. Now, I ain't gonna lie to you. I closed my profits right here. I closed right here as we crept into this low. It was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it did end up hitting the full target, but it would have offered a little bit of a pullback first. I wasn't trying to deal with the pullback, right? So I did close this trade right here at a 1 to 2.5 R. But I want you guys to understand by how identifying what your direction is and how to read price action, how we're actually able to scale and make money with our team. So you're asking me, okay, Kai, well, what are we looking for today in the markets? First of all, talk to me, chat. Did that make sense? Did that make sense? Is this making sense? Right? Everything that we did follows this step-by-step checklist that we go through, right? It follows this exact step-by-step checklist. Identify your 15-minute direction. Dial down to your 5-minute time frame. Mark out your key zones. Wait for the retest of your key zones. We waited for our retest. We entered after the first 5-minute candle in the direction of our trade. We set our stop loss above that 5-minute candle. We set our stop loss to break even at a 1-to-1 risk to reward. We went ahead and wait for that 1 to 2 risk to reward to be hit. And this part is a little subjective because you want to wait for whatever your psychological targets are in the markets or whatever you choose. But typically, my trades on average go for about a 1 to 2.5 R. That's the average risk to reward. So that's why I have it say wait for the 1 or 2 risk to reward, right? Everything that we went through yesterday is this step-by-step checklist that we go through each and every day with you guys. So if you guys do want to join our VIP, we're going to be going live in the VIP in roughly 45 minutes. I don't want you guys to miss out on this session. DM me the word join and I'll make sure that I send you guys the link so that you guys can join after we end this call here, right? I'm new to trading, so I'm learning. Well, W's for learning, right? W's for learning, right? W's for learning. Shay, you got to DM me the word join. Make sure you DM me the word join. So, okay, you guys are asking me, okay, Kai, well, what are you looking for here today in the markets? Well, I want to see first how our 9:30 open is going to react. So first thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to remove all of our drawings. Boop. boop, we got naked charts here. Now, you guys told me it's more likely that we break through this high than it would be for us to break through this low. This structure on the 4-hour time frame is technical bearish, but our 15-minute time frame is bullish. Well, what type of structure is this if we're bullish on the 15-minute but bearish on the 4-hour? We can't see. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Oh no, it's like it's frozen. Hold on. I got you guys. Bear with me real quick, chat. There we go. I don't know why it froze there. Screen froze. Yeah, I got you guys. So this guy, okay, so back to what I was saying. You guys told me it was more likely that we break through this high than it would be for us to break through this low. We could all agree why. We have not only that 29,500 psychological whole number, but the market structure has shifted by creating a change of character. Well, look at that. Are we heading up to this high? It looks like it, right? It looks like it. So this is why we set our key area of interest high and key area of interest low, because it's so important. Our key area of interest high would be the target. Now, if our 4-hour time frame is bullish and our 4-hour time frame is bearish and our 15-minute time frame is bullish, like Healing Between Broken said, right? Like how God is the Way said, like Kyrien said, this is a corrective structure, right? Why is that? Because it goes against the direction of our larger time frame trend. What do we know about corrective structures? They're oftentimes short-lived and lower, slower volume. Now, the overall market structure on the grandioso time frame, if we looked at like the daily, the weekly, the monthly, right, is pretty bullish in a bullish market structure. So this could be the shift that initially starts a bigger change in the markets, right? We don't know that, but it could be, right? It could be. We just know what the market is currently giving us. How do I know that 15-minute bull candle at 845 isn't the new high after breaking the low again? 845. Because the most important thing, I see what you're saying here. This is because, for one, you got to treat this 930 open candle like how you would treat news, right? If technically, and for me personally, I would like to see 2 candles close in the direction. Well, I see what you're saying as far as like this being this here. But for me personally, in this retest, it just came down to a matter of, okay, are we going to maintain this lower time frame structure? This would have been like the all get out. If it would have broke through this high all day, I'm with you on that move to the downside. And it really just came as a liquidity grab. Because if you take a look here, our first initial reaction when we pushed down was indecision, right? It was indecision here. We had that indecision candle. It pushed up, it pushed down, it pushed up. We wanted to treat this as still a bearish market structure just based off of this leg here, a move up, another leg to the downside, right? So that's why I essentially just didn't count this pullback or account for that pullback there. Because for me, this was that area that I was looking for price to go to. That comes with a little bit of discernment though. That's not really technical. I can get the system as technical as we can, but there is some discernment that comes with it. And the biggest thing is that this 15-minute candle also closed as a bearish candle. Though you would have had to wait for it, it did close as a bearish candle. So there's just a couple of things there that you would just have to understand in terms of both where you're at on the larger time frame and where the most of the pressure is coming. And all of our sell pressure was there. So we didn't, so that was why I executed the way I did on that one. So in terms of this market structure here, we want to see price get back up to this 29,640 and then potentially back up into resistance at 29,673. We could potentially see this 29,700 come into play here today as well. What I'll be waiting for is to see, are we going to break above this area of interest? Can we retest that level and give us a continuation to the upside, giving us this overall continued bullish trend that we're kind of in here, lower time frame? So that's what I'm looking for there. What time frame are we marking out our key highs? On the 15-minute time frame there. On the 15-minute time frame is where we mark out our key area of interest high and our key area of interest low. And just like you guys told me, it was more likely to break through this high than it would be for us to break through this low. And well, it's looking like we're going to break through this high. Drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like you're getting 1% better here today. Drop a 1 in the chat if you feel like you've gotten at least 1% better. Thoughts on FOMC? I don't really have thoughts on FOMC. because it is just a minute. So we'll see. I don't really have a bias as to what it is, right? Right? Is this a W stream, chat? Is this a W stream? Let me know. Like, are you guys learning here? What time frame do you enter on the 5 minute? Right? Appreciate Maria. Appreciate you with the follow there. Right? If you guys aren't currently following us, we're creeping up on 7,000 followers. Is this price action making sense to you guys? Okay. Question, chat. We just broke our high. Where is our key area of interest low, chat? Talk to me. Where is the key low? Is it 1 here? Is it 2 here? Is it 3 here? Or is it 4 here? Where is our key area of interest low, chat? You have a live Discord you trade on? Yes. If you DM me the word join, I'll send you the link so that you guys can join up. Scroogans, I appreciate the follow there, Scroogans. Where is our key area of interest low, chat? Where is it at? Talk to me. What do we got? So let's see. Mari Trade says 4. The guy Victor says 4. Adrian Soto says 4. Ed says 3. Quan says 4. God is the way says 3. Main Event says 3. By Malia says 4. Stony says 4. Khalid says 3. Sweaty B says 4. Kai says 4. That guy Victor with the 4s. Can we get to 10K likes, chat? I just realized we haven't got. Thank you, Kai. I just read your look. It's Kai. Me and you, we're locked in, right? We're locked in. 10K likes. Can we get there, right? Can we get there? All right. So talk to me, chat. Our key area of interest. If you said 3, you guys are absolutely cooked. You guys are absolutely cooked. My goodness, chat. It is 4. Why is it 4? I seen hella 3s in there. It is 4. Why 4? Can somebody explain why this is 4? Why is it 4, chat? Talk to me. What did we just see happen? I'll highlight it. What did we just see happen? Take a look at this. Hold on. Let me see. What just happened here? 4 because of the new high, right? It broke our previous high. What did I tell you guys? If you go from your previous high, right? Your previous high to your current high and you drag your box down, guess what? It's going to be the lowest point inside of your box. This updates as you create higher highs. Why is that? Because of the fact that we just created our higher high, this now becomes our key higher low, right? Because this low is higher than our previous low, right? Because it's the lowest point that started the move for the break of our previous high, which was here, right? So now if we break through this low, what happens? We get a lower low, right? Lower than our previous low. So that would also be our change of character or our market shift to push us down. So which one is more likely for us to get broken? If we see something like this happen, where we have price, we just did all of this, chat, where we have price come back down, we have either this, or let's just say price stopped here and it did like this and we were looking like this, right? And markets were right here. Which one would be more likely to break? Our high or our low? Would it be our high or would it be our low, chat? Which one is more likely to get broken? Lots of touches more likely to break the low. Is high, quan high, low, high. We just did this. We did this same thing right here. When we were right here between this low and this high, you guys told me which one was more likely to get broken, right? And it's more likely that we break through the high than it would be for us to break through the low. Why is that? Well, 2 things. One, we've already created a key low at this level, but what is this level? 29,500. When did we talk about this 29,500? On the 4-hour time frame, we've been struggling to break 29,500. This is 29,500 right there, chat. That's 29,500 right there. The market has proved to you multiple times they tried to break through this. And this is a strong level. So it would be more likely that we break through our high than it would be for us to break through our low, because we would need a good amount of volume to now break through the low. That's why we got this shift initially. That's why we have this shift to begin with. So prices creating higher highs and higher lows, well, it's likely that we go up to create another high. Is this making sense? Hopefully this is making sense to you guys. And I'm just opening up your minds as to how price action works, right? This is what we teach our members. This is why I encourage you guys to follow, so that this is not the last time that you guys see me. We made money yesterday utilizing the same principles that we each and every day. And guess what? I'm no stickler, right? I'll give it to you absolutely free. DM me the word ACE, ACE. What does it stand for? It stands for A, anticipate. C, your confirmation. You see what I did there? And then E, execution. I give you the full blueprint, the full shebang. This is all I do. This is what allowed me to get $1 million in funding. This is what allowed me to take consistent payouts in the markets. All of that. That's it. It comes with the videos to show you how to do it. And matter of fact, I made a video yesterday breaking down the trades that we took and had this set up side by side so that you can understand how it's going to go. And hopefully, chat, it'll be posted either today or tomorrow. Don't quote me on it. I got a lot of things to do today, but hopefully it'll be posted either today or tomorrow. Is this making sense? Drop a yes in the chat if this is making sense. Beaks, I appreciate the rose there. I appreciate the rose there. And Shanika, I appreciate the love. You appreciate you guys, right? Right. I want you guys to understand this. Send the DM to join an ACE, right? You got to DM me, right? My YouTube is the same as TikTok. YouTube is the same as TikTok. So hopefully this is all making sense to you guys. You guys are starting to understand the inner workings of the markets and how to put all of these different pieces of the puzzle together. We all agreed that it was likely for price to break through this high. And guess what? That's exactly what we got. But it didn't happen for no reason. There's a reason why we got both this shift, and it was more likely for us to break the high. And that's why we do this top-down analysis with you guys. That's why I hop on here, so that you guys can understand, okay, how do I actually read price action, and then how do we actually execute off of that? And if you want to learn how we execute, you can DM me the word join, and you guys will be able to join our VIP, where we're going to be going live in roughly 30 minutes or so. Wait, was it 45? About 30 minutes, chat. We're going to be going live. I don't want you guys to miss out on that session there. I don't want you guys to miss out on the session. Okay, so what do you guys want to take a look at? What asset should we move? So we moved from 0.1. Yes. What asset are we looking at? I might have to make I'm gonna make you a moderator. Anybody want to become a moderator? It's got to be somebody who's been here consistently, so that we can have people like this kicked. Because anybody who's trying to get you to join something in this the chat, I mean, they could just show you like how I'm showing you. Like, you know what I mean? So you looking for buys or shorts? Adrian, you are here. I can go ahead and make you a moderator. You be locked in. I'll add you there. I've been here, but not consistently. Kai, you've been here as well. A lot of times I can make you a moderator as well. You're almost always the first person here, Kai. I absolutely appreciate you. All right, just so that, you know, because I don't want people getting scammed. There's a lot of people who will try to pretend to be me, or there's people who will try to, you know, send you signals. 5 to 7 signals every day is like that has no guarantee of success, right? I don't want you guys following anybody blindly. I don't even want you guys to follow me blindly. I always say this thing right here: don't trust me, test me. Put what I'm teaching you to the test. Somebody drop a test me in the chat. Somebody drop a test me in the chat. Don't trust me, test me. Put it to the test. I'd much rather you implement it than to just say, you know what, I'm going to follow him blindly. No, chat. That's not what this is for. I need you guys to learn how to do this for yourself. Your EYES, God forbid something happens to me, you'll still have the best indicator built in, right? Test me. Yeah, test me. You feel me? I see the test me's, right? Good morning. How's the kid? Oh, take a look at, hold on, chat. Hold on. Don't leave. Check me out. Chat, look what we got in the mail yesterday. Yeah. Look what we got. I'm not gonna lie to you. This came in the mail yesterday. I absolutely turned. I can already see my boy in there. I can already see my boy in there. He's doing good though. Right, he's doing good. or hopefully doing good. I mean, he's been active in the movie. My fiance is doing good as well. So yeah, that's what we're looking for here today, chat. That's it. That's all I got for you, right? That's all I got, right? If you guys want to know what I'm looking for the ES, for YM, for gold, these things are absolutely sliding. So you know we gotta take advantage of it, right? We're gonna do that in our VIP. We're gonna be going live in the VIP in roughly 25 minutes. So VIPers, be on the lookout. We're gonna be joining the Discord. We're gonna be trading these markets here today live. I don't want you guys to miss out on this, right? I don't want you guys to miss out on this, and it's not gonna be here forever. We're working on a new program to roll out to you guys, and so go ahead and take advantage of this while you still can. For those of you who have enjoyed this live today here, I hope that you guys got some value out of it. Really quickly before you go, drop a 1 in the chat if you guys got some value out of this here today. Drop a 1 in the chat. It made it real all over again. Nah, facts. Appreciate all the congrats, right? Appreciate all the congrats. What I want you guys to know as you leave here today, right? Profitable trading is possible for you. You can do this. I started for the Culture FX because it's what I wish I had when I first started trading. I would have started making money way sooner. It took me 2 years before I got my first payout, and it took me about 3.5 years before I had a system that I could repeat. I had the system, but I didn't even have the discipline to execute the system that I had, right? So you need the system, which took forever to build, and then you need the discipline to consistently, keyword, if you want to be consistently profitable, you need to be able to consistently execute. That means no over trading, chat. That means learning how to actually manage your risk. That means not over leveraging, which is the same thing as managing your risk, right? No over trading, not to be fearful, right? To hold your trades, to take profits. You got to do that consistently in order to see consistency, right? Is that making sense? Drop a yes in the chat if that's making sense to you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you who dropped the follow, right? But I want you guys to learn. I want you guys to learn. Journaling is the most important. Jay said journaling is so important too. Journaling is the only reason why I learned and actually built a system. You guys don't only get my step-by-step checklist, but you also get my trading journal as well. I want you guys to document your trades. From my trading journal, I learned so much. Let me pull this up for you guys so you guys can see this. Right? I learned so much from journaling my trades. This dates back to 2022. That's when I started journaling my trades. Guess what? When I take a good trade, I drop the ace on it. You feel me? Straight ace. Why? Because I anticipated, I waited for my confirmation, I execute. But guess what? I was getting in on a lot of false breakouts. Look at this, false breakout. Look at this, early candle, early entry, candle never closed, right? I wasn't waiting for my top-down analysis. Look at this, trend was up, start with top-down analysis. Trend was up, sold into a 4-hour resistance. We just talked about the 4-hour resistance that we got to shift off of. I was selling right into it. I was just blind. Right? Selling right into it. So the things that I'm teaching you guys is the things that I learned through journaling my trades. And I learned that, hey, look, though I was profitable, right? It was still making money month over month, but I could have made more money had I just not taken the dumb losses that I was taking. I was like, man, I could save myself money. And guess what would oftentimes happen? All of those false breakouts that I would get in, early entries, guess what? My candle confirmation would happen right after I got faked out. And then I'd be like, now I don't want to take this trade because I already just lost, but this is the A+ setup. And I was like, you know what? I just want to save my money for the A+ setups. You know what? I don't want to get in on early entries anymore because I keep losing the money that I'm supposed to use for the A+ entry. So not only was I losing money, but I wasn't also making money off of the trades that was actually doing what I needed it to do because I had already hit my drawdown for the day. Right? Is this making sense? I want you guys to understand. If you're a trader who's stuck at that break even, or you're just struggling, I want you guys to join us to actually learn how to manage both your emotions, your trades, and how to read the markets clearly. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this, and I will catch you in the next one. That's me all day, false breakouts. Oh shoot, do you have a vid on how you journal like that? I just write my emotions and what I did wrong. I don't have a video on my step-by-step journal, but you guys can get the journal absolutely free. You guys can get the journal absolutely free, and you guys can just log your trades. And it comes with the Ace Trader checklist. So you guys, this is my gift to you guys. Hopefully you guys got some value out of this. If you're not following me, be sure to drop a follow. I don't want this to be the last time that you guys see me. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace from the East, chat. Peace from the East. I will catch you guys tomorrow. Bing. Domain access, so I can start